Dive deep. Dive deep. Chapter Snapshots. Introduction, page 4. Explore the ocean close to shore and then dive deeper and deeper. Chapter 1. On the Edge, page 8. There are many living things in every rock pool. Learn about some of these creatures. Chapter 2. The Open Ocean, page 18. Be adventurous and dive deeper with an air tank. Learn about fish that aren't really fish. Chapter 3. Deep and Dark. Travel to the depths of the ocean in a submarine. Meet the tiny fish that light up the smokestacks and the monster of the deep. Chapter 4. Care for the Oceans, page 30. Let's take care of the oceans and all their treasures. Introduction. You may live near the ocean. You may have been to the beach. But have you ever been on the ocean? Or have you ever been deep under the ocean? Not many people have. The most amazing plants and animals live in our oceans. Some of these are so small that you cannot see them. Others are so big that people think they are sea monsters. Invisible life. These creatures are almost invisible, yet they are very important. Plankton are living things in the ocean that you cannot see. Many plankton are microscopic. Plankton need light to grow. They drift near the surface of the ocean. Plankton are the basic food for all the things that live in the ocean. Animals such as sea sponges and sea squirts suck in water. They filter the plankton from the seawater. Imagine that you are standing on the seashore. You want to see some of the amazing plants and animals that live in the sea. Well, you can start right on the beach. Just wait for the tide to go out. On rocky beaches, there are rock pools close to the shore. Later, you can go deeper into the open ocean, but you will still need to swim underwater. You will also need to wear special diving equipment. Then you can go deeper still and travel down to the depths of the ocean in a submarine. Let's go. Chapter 1. On the Edge. Rock pools are pools of seawater. They form on rocky shores when the tide goes out. They are easy to explore. Each rock pool is different and is home to many different creatures. You need only to walk out on a rocky stretch of shore to find some real sea treasures. Let's go. Keeping safe. We need to take care when exploring. Always watch for waves coming across the rock pools. Only touch things that we know are safe, and make sure an adult is with you at all times. The continental shelf. On the edge of each continent, the land slopes down and stretches out. The shallowest part of the ocean is called the continental shelf. In the shallow parts of a continental shelf, sunlight may reach the seabed. Seagrasses and seaweeds grow here. Small fish hide in them. The continental shelf gets deeper as you move away from the shore. You will now need your diving equipment to explore this part of the ocean. Seaweeds. Seaweeds belong to a group of plants called algae. Seaweeds do not have roots. Instead, they have root-like holdfasts, which attach seaweeds to rocks. The largest seaweeds are kelp. Kelp forms underwater forests. Corals. As you dive away from the continental shelf, you may come across a colorful underwater garden. This is a coral reef. Many different types of coral make up a reef. Some corals have a hard covering that protects the living coral. Some corals are soft and sway in the ocean currents. These are orange daisy coral polyps. They trail their tentacles in the water to catch food. The tentacles shoot out threads that sting their prey. But when a large sea creature comes near, the polyps pull in their tentacles. Funny fish. Anemones are soft, fleshy coral polyps. Some anemones provide protection for the striped clownfish. The clownfish has a slimy coat on its skin. This coat helps immunize the clownfish from the sting of the anemone. Tropical homes. Clownfish live in the tropical parts of the Indian and Pacific Oceans. They are common in the coral reefs and bays of Australia, Fiji, and Papua New Guinea. Earth's continents and coral reefs. Chapter 2. The Open Ocean. You have moved from the shoreline and passed over the continental shelf. You are now at the edge of the continent. Now you can go diving in the deep, deep ocean. Breathing underwater. When you dive into the ocean, you still need to breathe oxygen. You need to take a tank of oxygen with you. Although seawater contains oxygen, you can't breathe it in. But the fish you are going to meet have gills that take oxygen from the water. Bony fish. Many fish have a skeleton. Fish such as snapper, salmon, bream, and flounder have backbones and skeletons made of bone. Their fins and tails also have bones. Fish use their fins to steer and balance in the water. They swim by sweeping their tails from side to side. These fish have other fishy features, such as scales and gills. They are also cold-blooded and can breathe underwater. Sharks and rays do not have a skeleton of bones. Their skeleton is made of cartilage, which is gristle. Cartilage can bend. You have cartilage in the tip of your nose and the top of your ears. Of course, this does not make you a shark or a ray. Fish that aren't fish. Some creatures of the sea are called fish, but they are not really fish. A fish has a backbone, gills, fins, and a tail. Animals without backbones are called invertebrates. Jellyfish are invertebrates. Jellyfish have soft bodies, and most are umbrella-shaped. Big jellyfish. This Portuguese man-o-war is a large jellyfish. It floats with the help of a floater or air sac. This air sac helps it move with the wind. It can deflate the air sac and submerge to avoid rough seas. Chapter 3, Deep and Dark. As you go down into the depths of the ocean, it becomes very dark. The water is now very cold. The water pressure is so great that it could crush a diver in a diving suit. So let's take a ride down deep in a submersible. What is a submersible? A submersible is an underwater vehicle made of a very strong material. It explores the deep ocean floor. The Alvin submersible can dive down to about 2 miles under the sea. It has underwater lights, cameras, and a television system. It can collect samples from the ocean floor with remote control robot arms. Glowing in the dark. Some deep ocean animals feed on materials that sink down from the upper ocean. Other deep ocean animals make their own special light to attract prey. In the deep ocean, you can see the winking and flashing lights of many small fish. Monster of the deep. If you travel to a depth of about a mile in a submarine, you may see a giant squid. Giant squids are the largest invertebrate animals on Earth. No one has yet seen a giant squid in its natural habitat, but giant squids do exist. We are learning more about them. Giant squid. The giant squid has eyes as big as dinner plates and a beak shaped like a parrot's beak. It has a tube-shaped body with 8 arms and 2 feeding tentacles. The feeding tentacles have many suckers on them. Sea myths and stories. People used to think of giant squid as sea monsters. In the olden days, people told stories about giant squid attacking ships. Maybe the arms of giant squid coming out of the sea look like giant sea serpents. Giant squid. A giant squid was washed ashore on 7 Mile Beach, Tasmania, Australia. She weighed 550 pounds. Her estimated length was 52.5 feet long. Deep sea vents. Let's travel even deeper into the deepest depths of the ocean. Your submarine is now over 3 miles below the surface of water. Turn on your powerful lights. You can see thick black smoke coming from a smokestack. This is like an underwater volcano. The temperature is much warmer as the water around these vents is heated. In the trenches. Deep sea trenches are long, deep valleys in the seafloor. The Mariana Trench in the Pacific Ocean reaches almost 7 miles below the sea. What creatures live around deep sea vents? Bacteria live around the deep sea vents. They make their own food using heat, energy, and gas from the vent. Much of the life around the vents feed on this bacteria. Clams, blind white crabs, and giant tube worms are just some of the animals that live around deep sea vents. Chapter 4, Care for the Oceans. The animals and plants of the ocean are mysterious and amazing. The ocean is an important place for all living things. Each living thing is special, even if it looks ugly and monstrous or colorful and attractive. You can get to know much more about the ocean. We can all help to take care and keep the ocean safe for the future. Problem. The number of fish living in a shallow water is decreasing. People are catching too many fish. This is called overfishing. Solution. Make and obey strict rules that limit the number of fish a fishing boat is permitted to catch. Encourage fishing boats to stay away from fish breeding areas. Reason. We need to take just enough adult fish from the sea that we need. We need to allow young fish to grow and breed. Overfishing. The Patagonian toothfish has been overfished. They are now in low numbers. It has taken only 6 years for this to happen.